You watch any of the Muppets? I know a few weeks ago we talked about the Muppets, Jess, and the Muppets are back. Did you watch any of the Muppets?
Finally, yes.
Yeah. I try to practice how to Muppet. Hey!
You gotta go.
Yeah, there you go. You can Muppet well. I can't Muppet. We should have a Muppet off where there's like a Muppet competition where people are just like, no, I can't. I can't do it. So
it's either that sign is Kermit or it's Team America World Police. Give me the sign.
Yes. That's probably the only quotable line that you can quote on this podcast from that movie.
From Team America, yep. We used to do that all the time after that movie because my parents saw that movie the same time we did, and my brother, and it was so funny. We would be driving places, and we would be in different cars, and we would be, passing each other, or we would pull up next to each other on the highway. And we would all do that. My brother would be in the backseat of the car, and I'm like, oh my God.
CCMouse Podcast. Yeah. This week, our heroes talk about Dan's new drinking addiction. Jess is in love with the Muppets, and Daft Punk says goodbye. All this and more on this week's episode of the CCMouse Podcast. Don't get a hedgehog. Just trust me on this one. Start recording has been initiated. Start recording on OBS. Start recording on Audacity. Yes. 3, 2, 1. Yeah. I love it when a plan comes together. Welcome to this week's episode of the CCMouse Podcast. We're good for your ears. I'm Dan, and you can find me everywhere at RFS Dan.
And I'm Jess, and you can find me everywhere, all over the place. At Gone to the Snow Dogs, and Snow Dogs Vlogs, and Snow Dogs Shorts, and good Lord, I do too much stuff.
You do.
Snow Dogs Cooking, all the Snow Dogs things.
Brainwash with the Snow Dogs. That's what it should be called. Just lately, I've been obsessed with these fizzy waters.
I saw a photo of you on your Instagram.
Yes.
Instagram.com/RFSDan. If you're not following him as he's on his quest to 2,000
Oh my gosh, I need like 5 more people.
See, that's all you need.
It could be you!
Following him, you should follow him.
And then you can win absolutely nothing.
I saw that photo of you carrying a box of those, and that was my first thought was, I think you have a problem.
I had to go to the next town to get them because they're all out at my town. But... I drank. They're almost already gone. But I don't know. They have so much like
fizzies.
Yeah, helium. I don't know what helium or whatever. Like I'm afraid I'm gonna take off. I'm afraid
helium.
I'm gonna be up at the ceiling just like the fizzy lifting drink did inside Willy Wonka. That movie was just like a warning sign. It's just one big warning sign. It's a what not to
Pretty
do.
Much.
So I'm almost a couple fizzy lifting drinks away from flying away. It's just taking a little longer because I'm a little heavier these days with my COVID-20.
Which one of them is your favorite flavor?
It's a toss-up between the strawberry and the black cherry. I buy all of them, and I leave the store with peach is okay, and I leave the store with the ones that are lime because it's probably just tastes like whack 7-Up. Just up.
Right.
So I drain them. Yeah, I drain them. So when you go into the Aldi, they're like in rows with the pink lids and the purple lids. So I grab the 2 ends of them, and I just leave this big gap on each side. I shelf clear. I'm not afraid. So I might have a problem.
Just a little one.
But my problem is I'm about to run out of them. That's the problem.
The problem isn't that you're drinking them. The problem is they're almost gone.
I live in a trailer park, so this is my trailer park Perrier. Yeah, I can see Bubbles drinking this thing.
You could just get a soda stream and start making them on your own.
Right. I can't because... They just
don't do that.
Explode. I had one of those soda streams when I was about 8 or 9 years old. So in about 88, it was this like beige thing before, like old computer cases before anything came with color. Oh my gosh. America was apparently just so excited to make technology that we didn't care what color it was. And everything was just that beige color, which was a pain. It's not like it was the natural color of the metal. I had one and it would be gone in a week. And then at Blake's mom's house, apparently they had one. They pushed the button too long and it pressurized and just wanted to like explode.
I saw a TikTok of somebody that took a soda stream because you normally have the little cartridges, and they actually went out and got the big CO2 tank like we have at the deli, which big, I mean like it's like 3 feet tall. So they actually went and got it, and then he's like, all you need is this piece and this piece, and they ran the thing through the back, and then they actually they use it all the time without having to use those little refill cartridges. There was always a part of me that was like, that's kind of neat. I don't really need that. I mean, it's kind of neat.
It is.
But I don't really want it.
You would love it for game night if you could just go and just get the fountain drinks out of there. And I wouldn't even get the soda streams one. I would do like you were saying, I would get the CO2 and I would get the brown box from like McDonald's or whatever the syrup is in there. Which when I was younger and we had the soda before it was a Soda Stream, I don't remember what it was called. A Smart and Final had, I don't know if you guys know what a Smart and Final is.
No.
It's kind of Costco-ish. It's okay. Do you know what Costco is? Like big bulk warehouse or Sam's Club-ish? Yeah. Kind of like that. And they would sell the syrup. The problem that I had is I couldn't get the ratios right. Oh, it's either too much syrup or not enough syrup. But I could never get the ratios right. Ever. Ever. So, so I don't want to get a Soda Stream because I'm afraid, one, I'm just going to drink it all. And two, I think I might just...
Crystal would not be happy if she walked in after an explosion. And
I've exploded 2 of these. I'll drink them warm if I have to. So when you take them, I don't know what goes on because it happens with warm beer too. If I just open something up, it explodes. It explodes like Mentos were in it. So the first day I got one of these, I stood there in the kitchen. I was talking to Blake and I opened it up and it exploded all over the whole kitchen. Then 2 hours later, I was talking to Blake again. I opened up another one. Same thing. I didn't learn my lesson. So then I tried to make a video of me opening up one of these exploding so I could talk about it and it would be exploding. Everybody would laugh. It'd be funny. But I took it out of the refrigerator and it didn't explode. So it doesn't like some sort of temperature change, but it explodes everywhere. So I can't have a Soda Stream.
Yeah. Probably not the best thing for you.
Probably not. No. So anyway, that's what I've been up to this week, hunting down more. So I literally went to the next town because I cleared it out. What do you think they say? Oh, here comes that soda killer again.
Soda killer?
Yeah, doesn't he have a job? I don't know. He just comes in here like during work hours and buys all of it.
I don't know.
So how you been? You've been busy.
What day is it? It's Blur's Day.
It's Blur's Day.
I was certain that yesterday was Tuesday, and I was freaking out because I lost a day. And Jamie kept telling me, like 3 times I said it, and he goes, "It's still Monday." I'm like, "Oh, tomorrow's Tuesday." He's like, "Yeah." And then this morning I woke up and I went, "It's Tuesday." And he goes, "It's Tuesday."
It's Tuesday.
Like, how am I losing track of days so bad? I totally forgot what day yesterday was. It's been one thing after another. Like, I had this whole plan for today. Everything I needed to do, I actually had it written down. I'm like, I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do this, and at 10:30, I'm going to do this. Oh, I do have a little bit of news, like a sneak peek that, because you're listening to the podcast, I'll share it. And if you're not listening to the podcast, you won't hear about it until, later on. So you people are lucky.
Ooh.
So I had a meeting at 10:30, and I'm like, and I'll tell you what it's about. I won't skip past this. I had that, and then I had all these other things I had to do. But my 10:30 meeting, I was super excited about. So I was on Clubhouse. I am addicted to Clubhouse. I was on Clubhouse the other day, and I was in a pet influencer room, which was amazing. I was in there, and I was listening to all these other pet influencers talking about different things that they do, and there was a girl in there talking about stuffed animals and how she got stuffed animals of her dogs made. And I have done this for 11 years. I have always wanted to make plushies. We had, at one point in time, I have 2 prototypes that I had made, that a company made and shipped me. And I have them. I still have them. And when we got the prototypes made, there was a few changes we wanted, and then the company went radio silent. Thank God I never gave them the money that they wanted. I don't know if you know this, but stuffed animals can be very expensive to make. Right. Very expensive. And you have to order a minimum of so many, and it just becomes, it's a big thing. So this company went radio silent. I had no idea what happened. Turns out they went out of business. So thankfully, I never gave them any money. Years down the road, Teespring has plushies that they'll do, but you've got to put all this money up front. Not a big deal. I don't mind doing that, but I would like to do something where it could be a pre-order so we know how many we need. And anyway, I was listening to this girl talk on Clubhouse, and she ran off this name of this company, and I wrote it down. And as soon as I got off the app, I immediately went to the website, looked it up. It was awesome the way it was laid out. And I emailed them. They emailed me back and they're like, "Oh, we only work with people with followings of this much or higher." And I realized when I emailed them, I didn't say who I was or what I did or anything.
Right, because I was going to say, you've never had a problem missing qualifications for any of the stuff by a lot of commas.
Yes. So I kind of just like I said, I just emailed them, ran it off, and that was what it is. So they emailed me back. I emailed them again, and then they called me, and we had the call today. So the way it's gonna work, and this is as long as we go forward with it, it's still gonna be about 2 months out at least, I think. I have to, when we're done with this, it's on my list, send them a whole bunch of pictures of the dogs. They're going to, not all the dogs, we're just going to do Memphis and Kira to start. And they're going to do mock-ups, and they're going to send us those mock-ups, and then they'll have a, like a production one made of both of them. Ship those to us, so we'll have those in hand, and then we should be able to, after we have those, we'll be able to start pre-ordering. So the nice thing about this company is I don't have to put any money up front. We have to sell a specific amount. If we don't reach that amount, they don't get printed.
Interesting. So like instead pre-order stuff?
Pre-order stuff. Yep. So it'll be and it's a pre-order that lasts 4 weeks.
Okay.
So it's a 4-week pre-order. We have 4 weeks to try to sell this much. Now, if we're close, there's things we can do. If the sales are going really, really well and we want to go a little bit longer, we can as well. So there's different leeway. We can also, instead of ordering the exact number, like say the pre-orders, we do 500. We can order 600, so we still have 100 more to sell for anybody that missed out on the pre-order. Or we can go through and do it again. Or we can go through and add something to the dogs. Like we could have a Christmas version where they've got a jingle bell harness on or something like that. But either way, I was really, really excited about it. And they sent me over the contract and all of that stuff. So after this, I am going to do that. That was one of my exciting things that I got to do today.
I have questions. Question the first. This isn't like Cuddle Clones where we're trying to make a replica of your dog. We're trying to make cute stuffed animal machines that look like your dog that you might be able to get out of a claw machine.
Yes. So they're like little, I don't know how big she said they were.
Like stuffed animals.
Like little stuffed animals.
We don't have to be 1-to-1 scale and...
No. These are going to be like...
huggable little stuffed animals.
Yes. Yeah. So that's... Gotcha. She told me, she goes, I wish we could put voice boxes in them, but we're not to that... They don't have that ability yet, but it's something they've considered. She's like, I wish we could do voice boxes, because then we could record the dogs howling and put a little voice box in it. Which would, of course, make it cost more, blah, blah, blah. But they don't have that ability just yet.
Do they have the ability to put the beanbag sack in there so they're kind of weighted?
They're the position that they do pretty much all of them in is a sitting position, so it should sit on its own, is what she was telling me.
Always a sitting position. Look, if you're watching this, where's the leg raising position, or I'm dragging, the legs up, where you're dragging around the carpet? Where are those at? When I get my own stuffed animal of me, Dan, I definitely want to have the butt dragging position. Definitely.
Or there should be the upside down Memphis.
Right.
Her little upside down.
Right. I'm excited. This is going to be cute. We've been talking about more plushies for a little while now.
Yes. Yeah.
Is this person only animal likenesses or people likeness also?
Both. They do pretty much everything. The company that we're working with does a lot of different stuff. So maybe you will get your own. Maybe, maybe.
I always thought you and Jamie should have one. I always
we
thought
could It would be something that we could consider doing. Finally,
keep in mind that a handful of people are going to use it as a voodoo doll, no doubt. That's the nature of the business we're in.
True.
But I always thought that would be rad, just like a little Jamie and a Jess, and then the dogs and stuff. But in due time, we'll see how these sell. I'm excited for this.
Yeah. Like I said, it's not going to be for a couple of months. We've still got a lot of pre-production stuff we've got to go through and figuring it out and making sure everything is set up right. But yeah, as soon as we have a launch, a page to launch for pre-orders, and in the phone call today, one of the big discussions we had was, do we do one and then the other, or do we do both at once? And we came to the conclusion it makes more sense to do both at once because people can order both together and get a discount.
Then, do I still have to have the same number for each, or is this a 2-pack set with one number we have to hit, with one stretch goal?
So the units, I think we have to sell 400 it was 300 or 400, I can't remember, was the minimum we'd have to sell.
Oof.
So if there was a Memphis one and a Kira one, we have to sell 300 of the Memphis, 300 of the Kira. But you could also order them as a bundle.
Okay.
It's gonna be
it's gonna be tight. That's gonna be tight.
But when we sold the posters, the limited edition posters that we did that were potographed, I went back and looked because I wanted to see how many of those did we sell without doing a whole lot of promotion on those. Mm-hmm. And we sold 720 of those.
Okay.
So,
are those the ones when we went to VidCon? We were all stoked.
Yes.
We were all yelling, "Look it, she's on the wall!" And all the kids were like, "That's I don't know who that is." But we're on the wall. We were we kept walking by the booth, asking, "Do you need any help?" Oh, that's my dog. That's fine. That was fun. That's fine. We could. I mean, I definitely want to set.
Yeah. I like I said, I'm excited. I want a couple of them. I know that, like, me personally, I would buy a few of them. You know, to set different places, and I know my mom and dad would want some. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure I could sell these. I'm pretty sure I could sell enough of them to make them worth it. They're a little bit pricier, and I'm working with them on that. Like, I would rather have them out there than make a bunch of money on them, if that makes sense. So we're going to try to figure out the best way possible to do that. But it's, it's
that would be cool. This will be the first time Kira is going to be in plush form. Yeah.
Well, any of the dogs, really. Well, yeah, because Kira doesn't have a cuddle clone.
Okay. Yeah.
So all the other dogs have a cuddle clone. So.
I'm looking forward to see what the prototype. I mean, obviously I'll get to see it, but I'm looking forward to see what the prototype looks like. In my mind, I can see it like just cute little dogs.
It was crazy. It was crazy too. Like it's just because I was on Clubhouse and I wrote that down, and then now things are in motion for that. So that was the first thing I had to do this morning, which I almost forgot until my Alexa reminded me, because I told her to. So that was the first thing I almost forgot today. And then while I was on the call with them, my phone started ringing, and I thought it was you. And I had it flipped over, so I couldn't see who it was, and I didn't want to be rude. I didn't want to like grab and look at my phone. So it rang and it quit, and it rang and it quit, and it rang and it quit. And I'm like, this has to be an emergency. Somebody has now called me 3 times. And I kind of just picked up my phone, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. It wasn't you. It wasn't my mom. I'm like, okay. So I got off the phone. I called the person back, and it was Justin, Derral Eves' assistant. Derral was doing a 12-hour live stream today because his new book launches tomorrow. And for those of you that don't know, I'm in his book. It's called The YouTube Formula. You can pre-order it, or you can order it at ytformula.com if you want to learn more about YouTube. But anyway, it was Justin, and he's like, Daryl's doing this 12-hour live stream. Do you want to go on the live with them later? And I went, yes, like today. You're calling me today to ask me if I want to do this? Even, yeah. So pretty much everything else that I had written down to try to get done today got pushed back because I had to get on.
Is that part of the YouTube formula? Just wait until the last second to call you?
Yeah. Hey, I'm really good at that. I'm really good at waiting till the last minute and then putting things on the internet. So
it was cool. I got to watch you talk on TV. It was neato. You knew what you were talking about. You were confident. It was really good to watch you on there.
It was fun. It was really, I've been friends with Derral a long time. I've known Derral a very long time. And, he interviewed me for the book last year when he reached out to me and asked if he could do this. I was really, really excited about it.
Yeah, I remember that. We were like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was super exciting. Like, I was really glad that I was one of the people, because he can ask anybody. Derral knows everybody. He could ask anybody he wanted, and he wanted me. So
he did. He asked you.
Really cool. Yeah, I just thought that was really cool. So then today, when they said that, I'm like, yeah. Justin goes, it'll be a half hour. How long was I on there? Like over an hour.
You're probably on there over an hour. He stretched long and had you stick around through another commercial break.
It was supposed to be a half an hour with a guest, and then like a half an hour without a guest, and then a half an hour with. But he was just like, "You just want to stay on and answer some questions with me?" Yeah.
As somebody who's done a 9-10 hour live stream, 10 hour, I've done all day live streams. Good luck, Derral.
Yeah,
you're a big dude, man. That's a lot of sitting, standing. We need to put some calories in you, bro, during these times. We need to put some liquid in you. So go there. I mean, he seems to be knocking it out of the park. It looked really good from this end. I had it on my TV here, and it looked good.
I'm sure he's got people that are there, helping him, bringing him food and all that fun stuff. I'm sure. At least I hope so. But,
right.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. That was the other big part of the day. And like I said, all the days have been running together. I've never had so many meetings in my life, and half of it is because of Clubhouse. And it's like
you've been talking all day.
Every other day, it's like, do you want to be on this podcast? Do you want to do this? Do you want to? Sure. I'm not going to say no.
I think this is your best move. Right now, everything on Clubhouse is so filtered down to the it's like going to a restaurant and wanting to see the managers, bosses, corporates, managers, owner, you're way up there talking to these people Last night, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was in a room last night. So the room started. I got in towards the end of it. It was supposed to end. And then Derral ended up showing up. So the guy that was running the room was like, well, we can't close the room now because Derral's here. So Derral Eves showed up in the room. We talked with him for a while, and then he left, and then, Sean Cannell showed up. So if you guys don't know him, he's from Think Media. And then all these people just kept showing up, like huge YouTubers. And then Hank Green, founder of VidCon, Vlogbrothers, SciShow, Crash Course, he showed up, and I got to answer one of his questions, which blew my mind because they started in 2007, and like him and his brother Hank and John Green, I watched their YouTube channels for years. Like, I still watch them today, to this day. And the fact that he was, because I was a speaker on the stage, the fact that I was on the same stage as him blew my mind. And then the fact that he asked a question that I got to answer because I'm the shorts person. I'm a short person.
I have not heard anybody else talking about anything knowledgeable about shorts than you right now.
And that was why they directed that question at me. So I got to answer Hank Green's question, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm on stage with Hank Green. And then Mark Rober showed up in the same room. And I'm like, I'm never turning. I was on Clubhouse for 5 hours yesterday.
Yeah, I know. And Saturday and Aldi.
And it's sitting here, and I opened it right before we started, and I'm like, I need to be
What's the note that you made yourself?
I'm not allowed to go on Clubhouse today.
Not allowed to go on Clubhouse today, even though I think you should be on Clubhouse right now, because I think being on Clubhouse is doing more for your brand than anything else you could do from 8 to 5 right now. And
it's so crazy. It's information overload, and I feel like I take so many notes and write so many things down, and so much of it is so obvious. Last night, Sean Cannell was talking about, when you make your videos for the audience that you want to watch them. That sounds obvious. Mm-hmm. Make your videos for the audience you want. Make the videos for the audience that's watching your videos. Make it for them. It sounds obvious, but the way he said it, you kind of went, yeah, that makes sense. And it's so we were talking about this with a bunch of people yesterday. It's interesting that somehow just hearing it from a different perspective makes all the difference. Mm-hmm. The things I've been talking about on Instagram, the things you and I have been talking about, even you said it, you're like, that's so obvious. I'm like, it's so obvious, but why aren't we doing it?
A lot of times it's about leaving your circle. We're in our little box.
Yep. And that's the thing. We're not doing these things because it's just not on our radar. But then when somebody says, you should do this and this and this, you go, duh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff. Best investment on an iPad ever.
Yeah.
Good. That was a good.
I made sure to cover up that little apple.
We debated back and forth for a while on how to make it so you can get on there, and now I think it's paid off.
100%.
100%. 100%. That was a very good move. Move looking back. Well, if you guys aren't on Clubhouse, I know this ain't a Clubhouse promotion. I gotta watch out how much Clubhouse talk we put on here. Well, that's what our lives are right now. We were looking before the podcast started, like, what are we gonna talk about today? And it's all misery, tragedy. Tiger Woods can't stay on the road, and there's nothing, like, it's all just craziness. So we've just been working and doing stuff.
We've been so busy, and like, I hate saying that because I always feel like, oh my gosh, we've been so busy. But for real, it's been one thing after another. Even like Jamie and I have been doing, we did a transport, which we'll talk about next week. We'll talk about it. But it's just, I feel like I wake up every day and I have a plan, and I have notes and lists and things written down. And then I get to the end of the day and I go,
tomorrow.
I got one thing done on that list. Mm-hmm. But I got 27 other things done that weren't on the list, so yeah.
Win! Huh, I'd still rather be doing this than anything else.
Me too.
Me too. Yeah. Yep. Flying by the seat of my pants is fine with me right now.
It's stressful, and I've spoken over the past few days with a couple people, and a lot of people, I get the same questions, how do you do it? I don't know. The answer is plain and simple. How do you do this? How do you manage all these social media things and do all this stuff? And I don't know. I just do. I think I don't want I don't want to not do it. This is what I want to do. So I just do. And then I've had a lot of people the past few days ask me, how do you deal with, the negativity? Because, social media can be very toxic. And it's the same thing. I don't care. I don't care about those people. They can hate me. That's fine. I can have a block button. You block them and you move on. I think some people let that portion of social media affect them a little bit too much. And that's not to say that sometimes I don't get a comment or something that like rocks you to your core where you're just like, it just hits you at the wrong moment.
Yeah,
and
it
makes
hits you on the nail on the head too. I was like, whoa, that's awfully deep and observant.
Yeah, so you kind of go, oh. So it's not like it doesn't, it's not like there's not days where you get hit with those things and you're just like, maybe. But 99% of the time, it's just like, nope, see you later, block you, delete you. You don't need to be here. I don't need your toxicity in my life. And I think once you figure out how to do that, you have a much better social media experience.
Right. I'm constantly deleting stuff off of your groups. Constantly. People are crazy. Even on my stuff, I get some stuff sometimes. I'm like, dang, how do you not like me?
Right.
Aren't I right in that area of like for everyone? Like,
right?
But people do. People say some stuff. I'm like, dang.
My shorts channel, the comments on my shorts channel have reminded me, like, because I used to get a lot of it on the dogs channel. I don't as much anymore. But it's like people either love my voice or they hate my voice.
Yes.
They love that I make the jokes about the dog living outside, or they legit think that I don't want her to be outside. And they're like, let your dog live her life and you're a horrible owner. And I'm like, wow.
The internet has taught me real fast that there's a lot of interesting people out there, and you can only use the word interesting these days. There's a lot of interesting people out there. I feel like, and you get the same like hate on the TikTok too, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So here's what I've learned. If you're not getting hate on your stuff, you are on the wrong social media platform. The madness is happening on TikTok and on YouTube Shorts because that's where all the hate on my shorts is where I was getting all my hate too.
Yes.
All my hate. So I'm like, okay, so that's where the masses are. That's where the kids are. That's where everybody is.
That's what it is.
That's where everybody is.
It's the younger demographic, and I'm not picking on young people, but it's the younger demographic. The people who don't have as much experience in life that seem to be the ones that are really quick to throw the hate. Or the people that like they think they have all the answers. I got some nasty comments about the dogs. The dog sledding videos I've uploaded the shorts of. Oh my gosh, the people come out of the woodwork on how I'm abusing my dogs and they shouldn't have to pull my sled and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh, you people are back?
I saw that. It was something like, get a job and stop having those dogs pull your sleds. I was like, ooh, someone's on the wrong side of the bed today.
And what's funny is the person that made that comment and told me to get a job and said all those nasty things. This is the part that cracks me up the most. I did a search to see that person has been commenting on my videos for 3 years. Never a nice comment. Never one nice thing.
You gotta give it
buddy, you keep coming back. Like, I don't get it.
You gotta give it to that's some work.
3 years. I will never understand how somebody can be so obsessed with not liking somebody that you actually spend the time to come and watch my videos, to type out your little comment, and then to wait to see if somebody responds. And you're right back there responding to them. And I'm going, wow. I almost didn't block him. I've seen him in my comments before and not blocked him because it cracked me up. And then yesterday, finally, I was like, 3 years. All right, I guess I'm done with you.
And that's it? Him. That's how you guys' relationship ends?
Yeah.
Who's he going to hate on, or who's that person going to hate on now?
Oh, he'll probably just make another account and come back to my account.
I've seen that before.
Tell you
I have seen that before.
Oh,
on your stuff.
Tell you how many times that has happened. You block somebody and they come back and they're like, "Oh my God, you blocked me!" and blah 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 blah. Dude, give it up. Give it up. I'm just a person. You don't like me. Bye-bye. Go someplace else.
Yeah. After a while, at first you're like, oh, this sucks. And you're in bed and you're like, After a while, you're like, whatever. The last one was some sort of accurate middle-aged Mohawk give it up joke with the gray hair. And I left. I left it and I went back not too long ago and there was thumbs up on it. I'm like, oh. But some of them I'll leave. Some of them are just dumb and then you delete them once you get through all all the YouTube spam. Oh my gosh, YouTube, you need to fix all the spam comments. Even on your page, there's so many spam comments, which the Podience has done an amazing job on reporting them. Every time I see one, I'm knocking them out. You guys are good job on keep reporting the stuff, because I do see them on my phone and I delete the stuff and the people and off it goes.
Makes it nice and better.
I like the word Podience. You were talking about how you, in Darrell's live stream, you were calling the dogs, the subscribers, your Podience. Right. And I think he heard it as potty, like going to the bathroom potty.
I think so too.
I could see it after he went on. He was like in his head for a second, trying to figure out how you are where you're at when you have a bathroom word for what you endearingly call your fans. And I thought that was so funny. I'm like, that's not what she said, Derral. That is not what she said. That is not. Yeah, so our advice real quick, just don't worry about the haters. Yeah. It's just somebody who typed something and they went on 3 seconds later, except for in your case, where they hung around for 3 years.
3 years.
That's amazing.
Blew my mind.
That's amazing. It reminds me of this one part of this. Howard Stern made a movie a long time ago about his life. And in one of the scenes, they were talking about like how long people are watching a show. And it was like, oh, people are watching an average of 3 hours a day that like you. But how many, how long are the people that are watching me that are hating me? And they're like 4 hours because they want to know what you're going to say next. So that's exciting. Yep. It's not like you even, and take it for what it's worth, it's not like you even do anything in your videos. You're hanging out with your dogs. It's you and your dog. It's just you and your dogs. That's it. Oh, people. Yeah. It is interesting, human beings, once you start opening yourself up to everybody's opinions. Yes. Lot of interesting things happen.
Yeah. It's a wild world. We're just normal people. That's all. Just normal people.
It is, but 99% of the stuff's still good.
Yeah.
It's still good stuff. Okay, check this out. Speaking of good, I fulfilled one of my bucket list items just the other day. And I don't even know if I want. I almost told you whether I liked it or not, but I'll bury the lead. Okay, so Holly, our friend Holly, has a hedgehog. And I've never got to meet a hedgehog before, right? Never got to meet a hedgehog before. My only hedgehog knowledge is Sonic. And let me give you a little bit of a spoiler. Hedgehogs aren't blue. They're not blue. Hedgehogs are not blue. They're not blue. So I've been wanting to pet this hedgehog forever. I'm telling you, she's had this hedgehog since like maybe right before the pandemic started. And I was at PetSmart and they had a $5 donation. They give you like a plushie. I had a hedgehog plushie. I was going to take my vlog camera with the plushie and I was going to give them the plushie and I was going to meet the hedgehog. And I was so excited to meet the hedgehog. And then that's it. You can't see anybody. No hedgehog petting for me. Flash forward 9 months later or so, it is finally time for me to meet Dash the Hedgehog. I'm so excited for Dash the Hedgehog. So excited! So I get there, Harley brings out the hedgehog. I'm all excited. It's this little like rodent looking thing and it balls up. Oh my gosh, it balls up just like a roly-poly. Yeah. You guys have those? Oh, you probably call them pill bugs.
No, they're roly-polies.
Are they roly-polies? Okay, cool. Yeah. Good. See, I knew we were friends. So I get this thing. Oh, I'm not holding it because I don't want to hold it. I don't know if it shoots out the spikes or I don't know. So Harley's holding it. He's just like all in a ball, and then he lifts his little snoot out, and it's so long, and his thing's cute. It's like a hamster with an armor kit on. And this thing is just sniffing around and stuff, and I don't want to bite my finger, so I finally like one finger touch it. I don't know if you've ever touched a hedgehog before, but it is like, it's pokey like the cactus that have the stiff spikes. Yes. But not really painful, but just, you push it and it doesn't bend. And I'm like, ooh. Right. So I'm kind of petting it and stuff. And I've always wanted to meet a hedgehog and I finally did. And it has got to be the most disappointing thing ever. Now I wish I didn't meet it only because I had such high cute expectations. Petting the hedgehog is not satisfying.
No, they're pokey.
And I don't think the hedgehog can feel it.
Not really. They can, but it's not like petting a cat or a dog. Beck had one.
There was fuzziness, like, throughout its belly. Yeah. But it just was kind of rodent-y.
You didn't hold it at all?
I didn't hold it because I didn't want to drop it because it looked fragile. Like if you drop a plate, like, it looked like maybe if I didn't want it to come apart. I was hoping it would shoot out a quill so I could keep it because that looked kind of cool. But I petted it and it didn't do anything. It wasn't like an animal where it's like, oh, this is great. It just existed. So now I'm sad. I thought it was going to be awesome and it was going to be cute. I thought it was going to tumble for me or something. So perform, and it just hedgehogged. It just hedgehogged, and then I went back in the house, and then
you just had high expectations because of Sonic. You're like, "Where's the rings?"
I guess it didn't say anything. Right? It just existed. Cute. I loved it. Cute, but petting it, just didn't do anything. It's not even you're petting on its head. You're petting its back.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's Dan versus the Hedgehog. You watch any of the Muppets? I know a few weeks ago we talked about the Muppets, Jess, and the Muppets are back. Did you watch any of the Muppets?
Finally, yes.
Yeah. I try to practice how to Muppet.
You gotta go.
Yeah, there you go. You can Muppet well. I can't Muppet. We should have a Muppet off where there's like a Muppet competition where people are just like, no, I can't. I can't do it. So
it's either that sign is Kermit or it's Team America World Police. Give me the sign.
Yes. That's probably the only quotable line that you can quote on this podcast from that movie.
From Team America, yep. We used to do that all the time after that movie because my parents saw that movie the same time we did, and my brother, and it was so funny. We would be driving places, and we would be in different cars, and we would be, passing each other, or we would pull up next to each other on the highway. And we would all do that. My brother would be in the backseat of the car, and I'm like, oh my God.
CCMouse Podcast. Yeah. There's some quotable stuff in that movie.
There is some, that was a...
There is some.
That was a movie.
Back to the Muppets. You said you watched some of the Muppets.
Yes.
What's it like? What's the first episode like? Who's on the first episode of the Muppets?
I don't remember who's on the first episode. I didn't watch the first episode. I jumped right to season 4. Because I had season 1, 2, and 3 on DVD. Mm-hmm. And I've watched through all of them multiple times. But I wanted to see the ones I haven't seen in forever. Because the Muppets ran from, 77 to 82. And as a child...
They've always been around for me.
Yeah. But the actual Muppet Show ran from 1977, I believe, to 1982. I was born in 79. But I remember the Muppet Show. Like, it came on in reruns. And and I'm sure my parents had it recorded and all these things. But I remember, like, a lot of what my phone's ringing. A lot of what my, like, musical beginnings are from the Muppets. Like, what's the word I'm looking for? Influence?
You're influenced by them?
That's not the word. Anyway, a lot of the first time I met a lot of these musicians and stuff was the Muppets. And I don't know. I don't know why that I always go back to that when I look at music that I listen to, and I can tell that a lot of what I listen to is influenced by the Muppet Show. It was influenced by, my dad was in a band, so my dad listened to a lot of music. But I remember so many songs, like specific songs from the Muppet Show and the videos, like so visually in my head. And one of my favorite ones is the John Denver episode where they sing Grandma's Featherbed. I don't know why. I love that skit so much. There's a lot of them. There's the ABBA skit. I could go on and on and on and on about the Muppet Show. But I went straight to season 4, and the first episode on season 4, I believe it was the first episode, was the John Denver episode. And I decided to turn it on right when we were going to bed, and Jamie was brushing his teeth. And I turned on the Muppet Show, and it started, and he goes, "It's the Muppet Show!" And I'm like, I just want to watch this one episode tonight. Because I would stay up all night watching it. And the whole time I'm like, okay, the next skit. Is it the next skit? And he's like, it's going to be the last one. I'm like, no, it's going to be this one. God dang it, it's not this one. So we watched the whole thing and finally got to the Grandma's Featherbed. And it was exactly what I remember. I've seen it countless times. I've probably also rewatched it, but I don't know why it made me so happy. I'm like,
were you just as happy?
Just as happy. Sang every single song through the whole episode. Still, I don't know how I still remember them. And it's not like a lot of these songs that they do. Some of them were real popular songs. Some of them weren't. How do I still remember the lyrics to these things? Like, how do I still know all of these songs all of these years later?
It's because you love it.
I guess so. I had a lot of fun watching it, and yeah, it made me want to sit down and just watch all of them straight through. When we got the DVDs, that was what we did. We put them in and we just started watching.
Well, now that they're on Disney Plus officially, I'll have to go check it out. I'll have to practice my Kermit the Frog. I am Kermit the Frog. Yay! There, I've improved already.
Oh my gosh. I don't even know, like, Lydia the Tattooed Lady. That's another one of my favorite skits. Oh, there's so many. I really like the Star Wars episode.
I know Mark Hamill was in one of those. I know.
Yep, the Star Wars episode is really good.
I'll check it out because I have flashes of it, but I don't really have much audio of like, this skit or that skit.
There's the little the birds doing the ABBA song and they're dancing on the line. Take a Chance on Me from ABBA, and it's the little birds.
See, I can see stuff like that. I can see flashes and stuff from not from repeats, but from actual early '80s when it was happening when I was a little child.
Yeah.
And but I'm gonna have to watch them.
Man, I love the Muppets. I love the Muppet Show. I watched it a lot. Well, I don't even know who my favorite Muppet is. I like them all. Ralph.
Ralph? Really? Ralph?
Ralph the dog.
Ralph the dog playing that piano.
I don't know. There's so many. It's such a... That's always the one that pops into my head. And it's probably because I had, and I don't know if I still have them or if my mom has them, but as a kid, I had a Ralph Muppet puppet that actually looked like him. And it was big, and, it was Ralph, so...
I have the Count. I have one from the late 70s, early 80s, and it's the Count. He's like, no, I just like the little puppet you stick your hands into. So I still have an old Jim Henson. It's not a real Muppet,
right?
But it's a Muppet knockoff.
Muppet knockoff.
Muppet, yeah. Discount Muppet.
I really like it. I've always liked that show, and it made me really happy when we watched it the other day. And we watched another episode after that. I don't remember which one it was because I think I fell asleep because I was tired, but. I can't wait to go back and watch through all of them.
Are you enjoying that Disney Plus? Are you enjoying that?
Yeah.
Don't forget to go watch that WandaVision soon. You gotta watch that WandaVision. It's almost completely spoiled now.
Yeah, that's one that's on my list of things to watch. There's another stupid Mount Everest. Stop watching Mount Everest documentaries. I've watched 20 Mount Everest documentaries. Not even joking.
Why? I watched K2 once and I learned all I needed to know about that movie.
Every single documentary is exactly the same. Somebody dies. Plain and simple. Because it's Mount Everest, there's a pretty good chance somebody dies. They always talk about how somebody's going to die.
Yes.
The last one I watched was the guy that was a double leg amputee who was going to, which, they don't let, I know too much about Mount Everest. They don't let amputees climb up the mountain anymore. This guy was climbing up, and I haven't seen the end of it yet. I'm pretty sure he actually makes it, though, but he was a double leg amputee, and he's all the way up at third base camp, and his freaking leg breaks. The metal part of his leg breaks where he's got his ice clamps on, and they're trying to, put this thing back together so he can keep going up the mountain, and I'm like, this is really funny because I have this obsession with Mount Everest documentaries, but I don't understand the obsession with climbing the mountain, and I think that's why I watch it, is because I want to know why these people want to do this. Which doesn't make sense.
Either. I don't either. I've learned 3 things. 1, there's too much trash up there. 2, there's not enough air on there, even though the Sherpas say that they put air up there. And 3, you're going to die.
Yeah, pretty good chance.
Oh, and 4, right before you're going to die, you're going to take off all your clothes because you're all of a sudden too hot.
Yeah, and you might make it to the top of the mountain and die on the way back down, which is crazy.
I saw that. You don't just go up. You go up to stage 1, then you come down, then you go up to stage 1, you come down, then you go up to stage 1, you camp there, then you go up to stage 2 and come down, stage 2 and then come down, because you have to get used to the air or something. And then you go up to the 3rd stage and back down so you get used to it or something.
Yeah, you have to acclimate yourself because there's less oxygen.
That is crazy.
You have to stay at each base camp for so long because eventually, by the time you get to the top, there's 40% less oxygen. So you're basically training your body... But the less oxygen also makes it so you can't think clearly.
Yeah, you go cuckoo.
You
go cuckoo and then you get hot and you start taking off clothes.
Don't get sucked into the Mount Everest documentaries.
None of them. So I watched the one.
And it's not about cats.
Right, because don't mess with cats. I watched the K2 one, and like I said, I've said it before, the movie was 2 hours long. An hour into it, it was the best movie ever. They made everything was great. And then if you'd have just cut out there, you're like, wow, that was inspiring and great. And then the last hour is just tragedy and just madness for what? When you're up there, you can't even see anything anyway. You can just lie.
Just to say you did. No, there was some guys that did that. Didn't you see that? We should have talked about that because I should have sent that to you. There was 2 climbers, I think, that actually did that. They made Photoshop photos of going to the summit. They were the worst Photoshop photos in the world. But that was how they proved that they made it all the way up there, was they took these photos and blah, 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 blah. Turns out they were Photoshopped. So now they've been banned from coming back and climbing the mountain at all because they never actually made it to the summit. They never made it to the top of the mountain.
Good enough for me. Good enough for, if you want to show me a Photoshop, good enough for me. What do they call it? K-Boo? It's K-Boo. No, I want the K-Boo filter so I can say that I've gone up there because no thank you.
Right.
No thank you. What is your fascination with watching these?
I don't know. Like, I don't know. I really don't know. For some reason.
To do this?
No, I don't want to climb the mountain. Like, I think the biggest thing is, and as silly as it is, if you took out all of the climbers and all of the talking and just showed me the footage of the mountain and like literally just showed me the footage of the mountain, of like the drone footage and the people, not the people, but the actual, like what it looks like when you're standing and you're looking at the summit, for some reason, I think that's breathtakingly beautiful. And I look at that more than I really listen to the story of the people. When they're like standing at a certain point and that camera pans and you're like, holy, look how high up they are. Look at how far you can see. I just like that more than anything. Yeah, I like snowy mountains, so.
A lot of the panning shots, you can't even tell they're on a mountain. It's that wide. It's just them walking.
Which is just mind-blowing to me. Or like when they have like the guy with the little, he's looking through the thing and the people are like this small, and you really like which is really hard to capture on camera, and we know this from vlogging, it's really hard to capture size and depth.
Yes.
But sometimes you just
20
get
feet
that
away.
Yeah, sometimes you just get that perspective where you're like, that's a person. And you go, wow, that's amazing to me, how crazy that. And I just like mountains, like, and snow and mountains. So for me, it's like, because, we don't have mountains here. I don't get to see that. I don't know. I think it's the snow and the mountains. I have zero desire to climb a mountain. I don't even like driving up mountains. I don't like the edge. I don't like the knowing that there's an edge. It's really scary when you can't see down from the mountains.
Oh, yeah, I watched you fall in the dirt.
Yeah, right. I don't like, we did Loveland Pass, and that was a white knuckle. I drove it and freaked out. Jamie and I did a mountain in Arizona once where we kept going on this trail, and I could see the mountain in front of us, and it was just a foothills. It wasn't like a big mountain, and I kept telling him, I'm like, this road is going to take us through that. We're not going around this. We're going through that. This was years ago, like before GPS and all that stuff. And he's like, no, we're going to go around. We're going to go around. Well, then now we're in the foothills of the mountain, and we're in the mountain, and the road goes from a road to a trail to a mountain road straight down. And I'm like, I don't want, if somebody were to come at us, there's nowhere to go. I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore.
I'm okay on my feet. But
yeah, I remember sitting in the car like this. I'm like, I don't want to look down. Just get us through this. Just, right. I don't want to be here.
Yeah, and then you see those videos of other countries where they're just driving that bus down that thin road, and they're just flying, and nobody's got anything going on, like traffic wise, and they're just doing it. And the back wheel of the bus is hanging off the death cliff, and they're just Corvette all the way down the hill. It does not matter. No, I couldn't climb up anything. I would be horribly bored climbing K2. In fact, I couldn't even sit through Lord of the Rings, and that was the same thing. It was 9 hours of just walking for who knows what reason. I still don't understand why it was so important to unmake this screen. If you guys would just act like adults, we would have to do this in the first place. But they walked for 9 hours, and it was horribly boring. I could not imagine being stuck on that mountain for that long. Yeah. I would be like, you want to hear the most annoying sound in the world? And they're like, hey, look at the noise I can make with my oxygen tank. And I'd be all like making like that balloon noise with the oxygen tank. And oh yeah, it would not fare well for me.
No.
If I went on there. You'd find me later. You just prop me up and just have me point one way like a sign. And it's like, oh, I'll turn left at Hawkeye. Because I know there's like dead people up there and stuff. And like, they're like markers.
Yep.
But there's more, what's more than that is the trash. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Like insane amount of trash.
That's been interesting. Like they've been trying to do different things. I've read lots of articles on the different things that they've been trying to do to make sure to pull things back off the mountain. And every year, especially now, like it's more and more and more people that are attempting to do this. Years ago, it wasn't something very many people attempted to do. Now it's like every year there are so many more people. Right. So they end up with traffic jams because everybody gets that break in the weather. So they're like, now we got to make it to the top today. And then you look and there's like just this line of people and you go, well, if that guy falls, they're all going to fall.
Oh, like, yeah. Especially when they roll up into a big snowball and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and they take you all out. I do see it was popular for a while after the movies and the popularity to pay somebody to take you. Like now all of a sudden I don't need to be a snow climber. I'm just paying you to take me. And yeah, so that is just, it just seems like a whole bunch of no thank you to me.
Yeah, well, there's a couple Everest documentaries on Disney Plus. Don't watch them, or watch them if you want to, but...
I know all I need to know, and I will just go ahead and stay away.
Yep.
Yes. So, Jess, as we wrap this show up, we are getting to the thumbnail topic of the week. More people are a little bit upset about this, but maybe I need to be educated in this. But
I would say you're not.
Daft Punk has called it quits after a lot of years, 20-something years, maybe 22, 26
28.
years. How many years? A lot of years.
28 years.
But Daft Punk, through a video, which was kind of rad. I liked that. It was kind of rad that they put out this video of them calling it quits. It was really, really neat. I actually watched it. Daft Punk wasn't on my radar. I know the songs. I know like One More Time. Like I know that. I didn't know that they were like, they had a gimmick and stuff like that until one day they were like on TMZ because they were trying to go to the airport after maybe like a Super Bowl or something that they performed at like a handful of years ago and they had their masks on and stuff like that. And so I don't know. Were you a Daft Punk fan?
So I was introduced to Daft Punk because of Jamie. Jamie listened to them, and when we first met, like they came out in 97, or I think that album came out in 97, but anyway, he had it, and I had never, like that was not a genre of music that I listened to, like Aphex Twin and Daft Punk and Fatboy Slim, like that wasn't a type of music that I had really ever been introduced to. It just wasn't on my radar.
No, what was it? That we were grunge rocking and alternative music. And,
and 90s. Nirvana, Nine Inch Nails, Korn.
It was definitely 90s staple music.
Yeah. So it was very new to me. It was very different. And, at first it was one of those things where, it always seems like when you hear a song the first time, you're like, oh, I don't think I like that. Then you hear it again. Then you hear it again. And then you hear a part of it that you're like, okay, I kind of like this part. Okay, I kind of like this. I clearly remember the Daft Punk Homework album because that's the one he had. And like I said, it was like 97. I met Jamie in 97, so it would have been 97, 98. I can remember him listening to that from beginning. I know every single song on that album because he would listen to it from beginning all the way through. Him and his friends always called it they would call it doom music or computer music because they would play it while they were playing. While they were playing, Wolfenstein and Doom and all these video games because it was just easy to listen to.
I still to this day play fast-paced music when I'm playing like Call of Duty or anything like that. I'll put like fast, upbeat music on all the time. Yeah. So you sent me a link to that Homework album and I played it and I'm like, oh, okay. Like it's not unfamiliar to me. I just didn't like celebrate it, but I knew their music more than I knew who they were themselves.
Right. Yeah. We listened to them and, and it was like from there it was, Fatboy Slim and Aphex Twin and there was all these other bands that kind of, very similar sound. And it's interesting because I feel like Daft Punk was way before their time compared to like I feel like if they would have came out when Skrillex was a thing and when that EDM music really started to pop, I feel like which they did, they had albums that came out, I wouldn't necessarily call them EDM music, but I feel like if they would have came out in that same time, they really would have exploded.
But by then it was all mainstream. Crystal was a candy kid. She went to the raves back in the 90s when you had to go to the gas station, get the flyer, call the number. They'd give you other directions to go. There would be a marker out in the field 4 miles down. You turn right. You just go and go and go until you see the lights. Like, by the time all that Skrillex and stuff was popular and EDM was popular, it was all mass marketed. And there was no sponsors back in the day. We went to one. Even I went to one with Crystal one time where they just had we were way out in the field. We were miles out in the field, and it looked like Mars. We were way out there on dirt bumpy roads. We took Crystal's Mustang up a bumpy road, and they had a projector on a sheet out there. They barely had some lights, and there was 100 people out there scattered around, dark as heck out there. So I think they were around when it was popular, before it was, we'll call it mainstream popular, before we're buying tickets at Ticketmaster.
Yeah, like Electric Forest, because they do the Electric Forest here in Michigan.
Which is the stuff is beautiful. I don't take the drugs. Like, I was never one person that would ever, I don't want the hallucinogenic. I'm scared of it. The stories sound fun. So scared of it. Seeing the stuff that they have coming out of the stages and stuff that are huge and 3D models and stuff, that must be a tripper's paradise. Even I sit there and stare at it. Every time GoPro comes out with a new one, they send their GoPro to like the EDC and stuff like that to take pictures of it. It looks beautiful and amazing and stuff.
I'm the same way. Like, I have no interest in like the drug part of it, but the lights, I'm fascinated by that. Like I don't have a very bright color. I mean, I love bright colors. I love everything that has to do with like crazy bright colors and things like that. So all of that stuff just fascinates me. And you put everything, and music fascinates me. So for me, it's that aspect of it. And I don't know, like with Daft Punk, I've listened to every album that they've ever put out. And it was interesting to see that, the articles I read kind of said they really didn't have any bad blood. They weren't like, some of them were like, they're breaking up. And then somebody wrote another one. They said, they're not really breaking up. They're retiring.
They might be old. They have to be old. They have to be at least our age.
Yeah, it was 97 when Homework came out.
Right,
so.
Right. I'd go to I want to go to a rave.
I want to go to a concert. Period. I don't care. I would go see Brooks and Dunn. I don't care. I just want to go.
What if it's just dumb?
Live music. It's just I just want to go see live music again. I saw a thing the other day for a concert. I don't even remember who it was, and that was the first thought I had was, I would go see them. I don't even care. I'll go see Hall & Oates. I don't care. Like, I just want to go see somebody.
I like how you just want to go see all the old people.
I don't care.
Isn't only Oates around?
I have no idea.
Well, yeah, I did see an outcrying of this. I mean, it was trending. It was #1 Google trending yesterday.
Oh yeah. They have a lot of fans, like, and their fans cross generations. Like, because Daft Punk did a lot way back in the day, and then they had other music that became popular, and they had music that was shown in a lot of commercials. Technologic was their
music was
popular.
pretty mainstream chill.
Kanye West has sampled their music, so it went from this genre to now it's crossed over into another genre. Who was it? Pharrell. He's worked with them, so there's like all these crossovers that they've done that have really kept their name out there. So I feel like. Mm-hmm. Even from like, our generation that knows who they are from years ago, they've transitioned through all these generations, and they've been able to kind of keep their name and keep themselves relevant for all this time.
Exactly. They're still on I saw somebody wrote that they're still on some charts where they're top 10 or top 5 of or whatever charts. They're still on people's list of relevancy.
Yeah.
But their video, I don't know if you saw the video that they made, their
did.
breakup video. I thought that was rad.
Yeah, I think part of it was from another music video that they did. I don't remember.
Oh, was it? Okay.
I think part of it was from another music video they had done, but either way. It
was shot nicely, but I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, way to strike emotions.
Years ago, when, they came out with Technologic, there was a girl, I think it was a girl anyway, that did that song where she wrote all the words. I don't know if you remember this. It went viral. But she wrote all the words on her hand, and she had just her hands in front of the camera, and she did the entire song.
Yes.
Do you remember that?
Gosh. Yeah, because they were doing it for a bunch of the songs where they were doing each of the words and they were turning it around and stuff. I thought it was cool. It was like a different sign language.
Oh, it was so like, I don't know why that was so cool to me, but I'm like, that is so cool. I always thought, I'm like, that should be your official music video.
Yep.
So when I saw that yesterday, there was a part of me that was like, oh. And then I did exactly what everybody else did, and I went straight to Spotify and like started at, I went all the way down to the Homework album, and I'm like, I remember all of these. It's crazy that I remember all of these songs so well.
They'll come back in 20 years.
Right. Oh yeah. It's only for now, and then we'll be back. But I guess they said, the one article I read said that both of them are going to be or they're not done with music. They're just retiring, and they have other projects that they want to work on. But it sounds like they're still doing music, maybe singly instead of. They made covering your face cool before Marshmallow.
Before Marshmallow, yeah, but at least Marshmallow's Mallow looks more comfortable than that plastic Daft Punk helmet on. It's like I learned from the Insane Clown Posse that if you're gonna have a physical gimmick, at least be able to, at least I just have a mohawk. I don't have to paint my face every night like the ICP, who probably has the most insanely clogged pores. Right. Like their pores, it must just suck. Same with those plastic helmets.
Is that what ICP stands for?
What's I clog pores?
Insanely clogged
pores. Jess, everybody. There you go, Jess. That we've peaked. It won't get any better than this. That was actually really good. Just another reminder, though, of things that are ending when you get older. It's crazy. It's an end to another thing in our life.
Era. And why it's important that even as you grow older, you should always be open to listening to new bands and new music. Because otherwise, when your old bands and the old music are gone, what do? You listen to everything on repeat, and that just gets boring.
Hey, you went back and listened to Daft Punk.
Yeah, but I still listen to stuff from today, too. I don't remember who I was having that conversation with the other day, but I was saying something, and they were like, I don't listen to any of these new bands. And I turned and I went, that means you're old. Well, you're as old as I am. And I'm like, yeah, but I can name bands from today. Because I still listen to bands from today.
You can name bands from today better than I can.
That's because you're old.
That's because I'm old.
That's how you know. That's how you know you turned old.
When I'm like, the music's
that's my
too
gauge.
Crazy.
Right? What are you listening to on the radio?
All the music that they play today is fine. I don't mind it. I'm just not into music like you are.
That's because you're old.
Right. These kids, these whippersnappers.
That's what it is.
Whippersnappers, yes.
Everything's too loud and too screamy.
Well, what a fun episode. This was great. This is great.
Considering we started off going, what are we going to talk about?
Yeah, we're just hanging out this week. We're just hanging out. Hey, look, world, do something great so we have something to talk about.
Yeah.
Do something great. I'm sick of all the stuff that's been going on in this world that's on repeat. Do something great. How many times could we sit there and listen to people like the Colbert Report or Jimmy Kimmel just go on and on about what's going on today? When do we get back to the funny and to the fun? I miss the Dancing Edos. You remember the Dancing Edos during the OJ trial? Bring back the Dancing Edos. Let's do this. I will say before we get out of here, Jess, though, I don't know if you can see, but
it's 80 degrees outside.
Inside, it is
inside.
Inside. You can't see outside there. It's 76. You can't see outside because it's a green screen.
Oh my god!
But it is nice. I'm in shorts and a t-shirt. I had the doors and the windows open here. I'm sweating under my lights. We didn't get winter.
It's 39 degrees right now. Everything is melting. And it's supposed to snow tonight. We're supposed to get 3 to 5 inches. So that'll be interesting because then tomorrow it is supposed to be warm again. So we're going to get a bunch of snow. So what's happening now is everything's melting.
Uh-huh.
Then as tonight goes on, everything's going to freeze. So everything's going to have that nice crusty layer of ice. Then it's going to snow on top of the ice. And then tomorrow it'll be really interesting.
So it's ice cubes. We're making ice cubes.
We're making a mess.
I saw a video. Oh, it's up now. I saw your vlog for today, and you were outside sledding, and it looked plenty of perfectly snowed to me. Is that because I'm a city and my eye is not trained for the
No, that's
light?
because that was like 7 days ago.
Oops, movie magic. That's movie magic,
I even
people.
said in that video, I'm like, it's Valentine's Day. I'm like, wow, I'm that far behind. Well, because I had that sponsored video that I had to do, and then that got delayed. It delayed all my vlogs.
Mm-hmm.
Because I didn't want to upload the next day before that day because then they weren't in sequence and things didn't make sense. So I did like a surprise live stream, and I'm like, I gotta put something up.
I get it. I'm releasing vlogs on the members only page every other week and our Patreon.
Right.
And this vlog that just went up on Saturday, I was still making stuff on Super Bowl Sunday. And as a vlogger, if you're a vlogger, your content feels like it's going to spoil. I don't care about Monday anymore. It's like Wednesday or Thursday or Friday or whatever day it is. I don't care anymore. Like it feels bad. So it's odd to me, although they are insanely action packed, it is odd to me to be editing stuff from literally the end of last month and stuff like that. You don't even remember. Sometimes you can end up laughing at your own jokes. You're like, oh my gosh, I forgot about that. You know? Yeah. So yeah, I get it. Okay, so that's why. That's all.
Yeah, that's fine.
Not me. I went out and I got yard work and mowing the lawns, doing all the stuff like it's sunny out. Right now it feels great before I turn into a microwave oven soon.
I don't want winter to end. I mean, I do, but I don't.
No, you're half Frosty the Snowman. You're of the snow.
Yeah, I know. It's like February, and March will be here before we know it, and then everything. Because see, what happens when winter ends is everything turns into mud, and then I have mud puppies. And I have mud puppies for like 2 months because it rains and then it's kind of snows and then everything melts and then
That's
it's like
right.
mud
It's
puppies.
almost mud puppy time. I forget about that. Every year it gets to be mud puppy time.
Mud puppies.
You stink.
Yeah, and having dogs that have so much white fur, you're like, come on. So, no, I could hang on to the snow for a little bit longer, which, I mean, looking ahead at the next 10-day forecast, it's supposed to be warm the next 2 days, but then it's supposed to drop back down in the 20s. But then Saturday, it's supposed to be 45, so it's ending, whether I like it or not.
Here, it's a heat wave.
No,
the heat wave. Well, let's wrap this up so I can go outside and work on my tan. This Borat G-string style body is not going to tan itself. So I got to get out there, everybody. Let's do this. That'll do it for this week's episode of the CCMouse Podcast. Listen to us every Wednesday on your favorite music app. Find the video version at youtube.com/CCMouse Podcast. Rep our merch at CCMouse.shop, and we'll see you next week. Same mouse time, same mouse podcast. Bye, everybody.
We did a thing.
Now back to Clubhouse. Oh, there it is calling me right now. See you next time, guys.